What's the one dream every great empire shares? To rule forever. They build monuments that scrape the sky and forge armies to conquer the world, all for a shot at immortality. 3 ancient superpowers each claimed they had the secret. Rome promised an eternal city, an imperium signed fine, an empire without end. Egypt built for the gods, convinced its divine cosmic order could stand for all time. And China designed a system that could die and be reborn from its own ashes, again and again. But their playbooks couldn't have been more different, and each one hid a fatal flaw. This is the ultimate showdown of imperial philosophies. Cosmic order versus divine destiny versus the rule of law, to see whose plan for immortality was the cleverest, and why in the end, almost every empire is destined to become a ghost. Number 1. The source of power. Who gets to rule forever? To build an eternal empire, first, you need a killer story. A justification for your power that convinces everyone, from the lowest farmer to the highest general, why you deserve to rule not just for a lifetime but forever. In Egypt, the answer was simple and absolute. The pharaoh wasn't just a king, he was a god on earth. He was the living bridge between humanity and the divine, and his number 1 job was to maintain Ma'at, the fundamental order of the universe, a concept of truth, harmony, and justice. This wasn't just politics, it was cosmetology. The Egyptians believed that if the pharaoh failed to uphold Ma'at, the universe itself would crumble back into chaos. The pharaoh's power wasn't granted by the people, it was a non-negotiable law of reality. His own immortality after death was the ultimate guarantee of Egypt's eternal stability. So who gets to rule forever? The man who keeps the sun rising. Rome started from the opposite direction. Its power didn't come from a god-king, but from its citizens, SPQR, Senatus Populusque Romanus, the Senate and people of Rome. But as the Republic bled into an empire, that all changed. The emperor became the new center of gravity. While he wasn't a living god like a pharaoh at first, he was seen as divinely sanctioned. Imperial propaganda, most famously in Virgil's epic poem The Aeneid, pushed the idea of an imperium sine fine, an empire without limits, supposedly promised by Jupiter himself. This was a claim of divine destiny. Rome was fated to rule the world forever. The emperor's power was justified because Rome's dominion was seen as the march of civilization itself, a project so vital, it just had to be eternal. And then you have China, with its uniquely pragmatic idea, the mandate of heaven. Much like in Rome, the ruler, the son of heaven, was given divine approval to rule. But here's the crucial twist. The mandate wasn't a lifetime guarantee. It was a cosmic contract that hinged entirely on the emperor's performance. If a ruler became corrupt, and disasters like floods or famines struck, it was a sign that heaven had withdrawn its favor. Crucially, this philosophy didn't just justify the emperor's rule, it justified rebellion against him. If a rebel leader managed to overthrow the dynasty, it was proof he'd earned the mandate himself. This created a system where any single dynasty was mortal, but the empire, the civilization state, could achieve a kind of immortality through constant cyclical renewal. So there we have it. Egypt's living god, Rome's divine destiny, and China's cosmic contract. But how did they plan to turn these bold claims into an eternal reality? Number 2, the blueprint for immortality. How did they plan to do it? Okay, so you've got your philosophy of forever. That's the easy part. How do you actually build it? Each of these civilizations had a grand strategy to make their dream real. Egypt's blueprint was one of monumental stability. If your mission is to maintain an unchanging cosmic order, you build a society that resists change at all costs. The Egyptians did this with breathtaking architecture and unshakable ritual. The pyramids and temples weren't just impressive buildings, they were physical anchors for Ma'at, built to last for millions of years and defy the chaos of time. Their elaborate mummification and funerary rituals were designed to ensure the soul's journey into the afterlife, which for the pharaoh meant the continued stability of the entire cosmos. Egypt's plan for immortality was essentially to stop time by creating a perfect, unchanging reflection of the heavens on earth. Rome's blueprint was the exact opposite. It wasn't about stopping time, it was about conquering it through expansion and integration. Rome's genius was in building a system. They constructed an astonishing network of roads, aqueducts, and cities that physically stitched their vast territory together. But more importantly, they built an empire of laws. Roman law offered a predictable and, for its era, fair system that could govern diverse peoples across thousands of miles. And then there was its masterstroke, citizenship. While not always applied equally, the chance to become Roman was a powerful tool of assimilation, turning conquered peoples into stakeholders in the imperial project. The idea was that the physical empire might have borders, but the idea of Rome, its language, laws, and culture, could become a universal, immortal concept. China's blueprint was one of cultural and bureaucratic resilience. The Chinese created arguably the world's first professional civil service, a sprawling bureaucracy run by scholar officials steeped in Confucian philosophy. While emperors and dynasties could rise and fall, this administrative class was the permanent backbone of the state. This system, fused with a powerful unifying culture and a common written language that transcended dialects, meant that even after periods of total collapse, China would eventually pull itself back together. Its blueprint for immortality wasn't built from stone or law, but from a self-healing political and cultural organism. 3 grand plans: Egypt's divine stasis, Rome's legal expansion, and China's bureaucratic resilience. Each was a brilliant strategy to defy death, but each carried a hidden fatal flaw. Number 3. The fatal flaw: why no empire lasts forever. But here's the thing about grand plans for immortality. They always have a fatal flaw. The story of every great empire is also the story of its end. Egypt's fatal flaw was its rigidity, the very thing that made it so stable for millennia. Its obsession with unchanging tradition ultimately made it brittle. By resisting change, Egypt left itself wide open to disruption from the outside world. New military technologies and new political ideas, brought by waves of invaders like the Hyksos, Persians, Greeks, and finally the Romans, chipped away at the divine kingdom. The world changed, but Egypt's core philosophy of static perfection couldn't adapt. In a changing world, an empire that can't adapt is already a relic. Rome's fatal flaw was a paradox. It was a victim of its own success. The empire simply got too big to govern. The ideals of citizenship that held the early empire together were diluted across a massive and diverse population. Its borders were under constant pressure, and the staggering cost of defending them bled the treasury dry. Worse, the political system rotted from within. A long series of civil wars, rampant corruption, and unstable leaders eroded the legal foundations that made Rome so strong to begin with. The empire without end discovered that there are, in fact, limits to both space and time. Its body grew too large for its heart to support, and it eventually fractured under its own weight. China's fatal flaw was written right into its operating system. The mandate of heaven was a brilliant tool for legitimacy, but it was also a permanent invitation to rebellion. By declaring that an unjust ruler deserved to be overthrown, it created an inescapable cycle of collapse and violent renewal. Unlike Rome's singular catastrophic fall, China experienced multiple collapses. Each time a dynasty grew weak, civil wars would tear the country apart, costing millions of lives before a new leader was strong enough to reunite the land and claim the mandate. The price for its unique brand of immortality was an endless cycle of death and rebirth. So, after this epic showdown, who actually came closest to winning the bid for immortality? Egypt, the divine kingdom, is now a ghost. Its monumental ruins stand as a whisper of its eternal ambition, but its core civilization, its religion, its political structure, its philosophy, was shattered thousands of years ago. While its culture influenced its conquerors, its dream of static perfection couldn't survive the relentless march of time. Rome, the eternal city, fell. Its physical empire is long gone, a magnificent ruin that inspires awe. But in another way, Rome's ghost is all around us. Its language seeded the Romance languages, its legal codes are the bedrock of many modern legal systems, and its ideas on architecture and government have profoundly shaped Western civilization. Rome didn't achieve physical immortality, but it absolutely achieved an ideological one. And then there's China. Its system was designed to accept and recover from failure. It broke, burned, and bled over and over. Yet because of its resilient bureaucracy and deep-rooted cultural identity, it always came back. While its history was certainly interrupted by periods of disunity and foreign rule, like the Mongol and Manchu dynasties, the underlying civilizational model proved astonishingly durable. Of the three, China is the only one that can claim a recognizable cultural and political continuity from the ancient world straight through to the modern day. So while Rome's ideas conquered the world, and Egypt's monuments conquered time itself, it was China's adaptable, self-healing system that came closest to creating a truly immortal empire. And it leaves us with a final, profound lesson. Maybe the secret to living forever isn't about never falling down. It's about having a system that guarantees you can always get back up. Which imperial strategy do you think was the most intelligent? The divine stability of Egypt, the legal expansion of Rome, or the cyclical resilience of China? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.